thing.
Oh, yeah, makes sure you can actually hear us.
Yeah, no, I have
Yeah.
You want to check it?
I don't know. Check.
I left it over there.
Yeah.
You just pull it up and take a listen.
Good morning, recovery. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we on live, guys?
I'm trying to find it. Hold
Hey,
up.
hey.
Won't make that mistake like last time.
Yeah.
Let's please not. This is our first 30-second conversation on every broadcast, making sure that we are good to go on volume.
If anyone is out there listening, send us a thumbs up.
Yep.
We're good to go.
We're good.
So look, guys, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome. I went into internship over at JMU this past week, and I am excited to hopefully bring in an intern
Great.
soon to help us with all of this technology and our background and upgrade our beautiful
whole
podcast
Feng
soon.
shui, right?
I'm hoping to do
Building
that
up.
because we need help with it. And hopefully somebody with our JMU can come out and just help us with it. And if not, then hopefully we can just do it together here with all of us soon to upgrade a little bit, because I need to know how to not start you guys off with 30 minutes or 30 seconds of your life talking about the volume. We don't need to do that every day.
Yeah. No, we do
No,
not.
no.
We don't.
But we're upgraded.
That's the true impact of trauma. There's a case in point right there. We had the one experience and it haunts us every time.
Yeah, that 1 hour we'll never get back of our life.
Oh my gosh, y'all. So welcome everyone. We have a beautiful table here with us this morning. We've had look at the morning. It's a beautiful morning
Oh,
outside.
great. Yeah.
My
It is.
goodness. We have Cash joining us. We have Tayler Alger, Francesca, and myself, Andrea. And we're here to talk about recovery. And our topic this morning, what is our topic this morning? I just typed it in and done forgot.
Bitter,
Uh-oh.
not better.
There we go.
Or wait, I mean, better, not better.
You know, that's just life. I literally
you,
just
Taylor.
typed it in and dun, 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 dun.
Well,
We need each other.
well, do I go into what we were talking about just before we got started?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
take us there.
So what I was sharing with the group here at the table is so much of my early life, I lived under this Old Testament belief. I had to do this and I had to do that and I have to do this. And living that way for me really kept me not free, right? And it wasn't until maybe when I became a mom, so about 11 years ago, that I heard this sermon being preached about living under God's grace. So it was all New Testament living. And what was said was, our lives are really, not our own. We're either giving our lives to God or we're giving into the devil. And so what I recognized I was doing, even though God was in my life, I was living a life too hard. Everything was hard and I could never add up. So when I heard this service being preached about the only control you have over your life is, are you going to choose with what happens to you? Are you going to choose to be better or are you going to choose to be bitter? And that's what living under God's grace is all about, because God gave us that due to our unmerited favor, meaning we could not earn that position.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this
Wow.
topic this morning. Now I'm
Wow.
really excited. I typed it in, but I was just typing and not paying attention. But now I'm really excited. Okay, so let's get into it. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I mean,
I have so much to say about it. What about you, Taylor? Take us into it.
Yeah, well, so I was starting to stay at the table as well. I with one of my kids this week. This is a 16-year-old boy, and he's saying, he's had a lot of pain. He's had a lot of struggle in his life. And this is what I tell my kids and everybody all the time. And it's not necessarily the message, which now I'm going to start using, better over bitter. But it's very easy to fall into that negative mindset and that
Yeah.
negative cycle. And he's been having some tests lately, and he falls into this pattern of thinking of all the terrible, worst things could happen. But I was like, that's when you're allowing that cycle to play out. And when you do that, so what I told him to do, I said, when you catch yourself in that thinking negative, this is going wrong, this is happening, this is, because it seems like it when you focus on that.
Right.
But when you zoom out, there's so much good happening. So I want you to get into a pattern of catching yourself in that moment. And then right there, I want you to force yourself to think of 10 things that are going well.
That is
That's
awesome.
great
Do you do
advice.
that too,
I
Tess?
do. I absolutely have to. So every morning, first off, before your feet hit the ground, you should give thanks. 10
Mhm.
things is the number. Say
Mhm.
10 and your day will be different. And I've noticed on days I've slipped and not done that, how everything just piles on you so
Right.
heavy.
Okay,
So I
this is good
do
for
that.
me. This is what I need to start doing in my life because I've been kind of struggling myself personally with this bitter thing. I've been bitter here lately. Not
Right.
gonna lie.
And that's the thing. See, that's where I'm saying like negative thoughts. You have, you get negative thoughts throughout the day. I want to go back to when I was in wrestling. If I sat there before a match, 2 hours, 3 hours before, if I thought negative thoughts, oh, this is going to go wrong, that's going to go wrong, you're going to have negative results. You got
Absolutely.
you got to put positive. So I would go talk to the person I have a match with. I'd be like, this is going to go good. Whatever happens, we can piggyback and we'll do this. Don't worry. If something bad happens, we can make it into something good. We can go back to basic lockups, whatever. But and that's just an example is negative thoughts are going to come and go, but it's what you do with those negative thoughts to turn it into a positive and learn from
Mhm,
it.
mhm. From my personal experience right now, what I'm going through is relationship challenges. I want to find the perfect man in my life. I'm really struggling.
Girl,
And
you
I'm like,
don't need a man.
I know that. It is easier
How
said
y'all
than
gonna say I'm
done
on
for
boy
people. It is
team?
it is really easier said than done because for me, I'm 40 years old and I'm ready to settle down.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. And it's just I'm at that age in my life where I'm ready. And it's like the dating world, it's awful. It's awful. And for me, I'm going out on these dates and I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying the dates. But it's just not what I am expecting, I guess, and it's not the it's not working out. So anyway, I get bitter. And the
Mhm.
bitter comes where, again, I was married for that 17 years of my life. And the bitter comes where I'm like, why am I the one suffering?
Mm.
Because, and I read this yesterday,
Sad face.
what God is
Mm.
making you wait the longest for is what ultimately is going to be your greatest blessing ever received.
Well, and that's the reminder. So I am, thank God, spiritually grounded enough to know this. Like I know this, and that's the reminder. I am going through some things, the RV, like I wanted to travel and I wanted to do these things. Some fallbacks has happened here lately where I'm not able to do that quickly enough. But however, it's a part of it. I have to understand spiritually that it's just I'm not ready. It's not
Yeah.
time yet. I have to be patient.
Mhm.
Patience.
Trials create patience.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's just not
It is.
so again, guys out there, everyone that's out there listening, it's just I feel you. I feel the pain. Like we can relate here. It's just these are just things that we all face as community, as people. What do we do? What do we do?
Well, I feel
Trauma
like
counselor, what do we
feel
do to get through
I
this?
feel like we're here to prepare you in your toolbox. You need things to pull from as life gets hard.
Yes,
And
that's what we are all here for.
that's the
Yes.
bottom line, because let's face it, if you are a believer in Christ, okay, then the greatest it's ever going to be for you is not earth, it's eternal.
Absolutely.
So what we have to recognize is that life is supposed to be hard and challenging. That's why this is temporary. So
Absolutely.
in recognizing the temporary place that we are, which is earth, and if any of you wonder why bad people, like great things happen to them or they're doing so well, that's because the best it's ever going to be for them is here.
Right, because
Okay.
that's the most important thing to remember too. It is so easy for me to go out here and do bad and live a good life. Like
Mhm.
I could go out here right now today and mess up and have it easy.
Mhm.
That's the easy way. All right. The hard way is to live right. All right.
Right.
And so we do you guys recognize that? I mean, let's chime in, guys out there. Let's come up with if you guys log in, make sure you guys can read the comments. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
go
wanna
ahead and read it.
I want to know.
And like I said, this comment from Keith Weller: God is so amazing, and His grace is powerful, and the work that we that y'all do every day is spiritual, moving me closer. I love watching you guys.
Thank
And
you,
and
Keith.
with that being said, I want to pick. I thought you said our date went well. Anyway,
No, it did go well.
Oh,
My date went well, but the return of him didn't happen because I didn't go further into what society wants. You
And
know what I mean?
Worldly.
And,
Good for you.
and
Yes.
I'm
you
not
just
doing
said
that.
li-
I want more.
And when you
I
say
want
living
more.
bad, you can live a good life. Let me tell you, when I was living over in Harrisonburg and I was living great, I was going to bars, we had money, we had cars and all that. But there was one thing that I kept leaving out. I wasn't thankful to God. I never once thanked God. Did I curse God? Yes, many times. And he showed me, how quick things can be flipped around. You got to be thankful for God's
Well,
grace.
that's the thing. That's the thing where I say I want more. I don't. My dating world this time is 100% different than what I've ever done before.
Right.
It is a spiritual walk.
Beautiful.
And-
Because
Beautiful.
when you have your true north and I know you and you're headed that way. So God is
Yes.
preparing somebody out there. He's not in your line yet, but he's preparing somebody else, and God will draw you two together. And then with your true north ahead of you,
That's going to
nothing
be
is going to
that's
stop
going to be
you.
where it's going to be the alignment. It's going to be closer to
Yes.
God, and it's going to
Right.
take off. And I recognize that. It's a hard
It's
journey.
because we want what we want. We want it
Yes.
now.
It's the instant
Yes.
gratification. Being
Yes.
former
Yes.
addict or whatever it may be, you're looking for that instant gratification.
Yeah.
You want it now.
is
You need it
hard.
now. But you
Right.
got to learn that great things take time. Like I said, even be it in the wrestling ring, be it in a career that I'm shooting for, you literally have to put the work in, and
Yes.
God
Yeah.
is working on you.
And I
Yeah.
think that there's time that we need sometimes, and it's hard because we don't want that time, right? We want
Yeah,
what we
we
want
do.
now, as we said, but there's some things that need to be healed and things that need to be learned and things that we need to go through. Because what I tell people, like, all the time when I see people in a relationship and they get out of that relationship and they jump in another one, I'm
Mm.
saying the wounds that you have had throughout your life that you brought into this relationship, and now the wounds that you've accrued since you've been in this relationship, you're bringing right into the next one.
Yeah.
So
right.
there needs to be
Mhm.
that time to heal from what you've gone through and to see, because a lot of times, we focus on what we know we don't want, but we need to focus on what we do want and what we deserve.
Right.
And to say, okay,
That is true.
not to say like I'm going to build the perfect partner and they have to have this, this, and this, because then we're going to set ourselves up for failure.
Right.
But what are our non-negotiables?
Mhm.
What are the things that we know we have to have in a committed partnership because we need that in our life to be able to grow?
That's right.
And
And I
that's-
know that my man has to be a strong, but he's going to have to be a very strong man, because my world in recovery is it collides with men and women in such a strong way. We have people here, men and women. I wake up to the carport sometimes with men asleep at night on the
What?
carport. Yes.
Really?
When I
Mhm.
wake up, yes, I woke up. Yes. That for people that need to go to rehab the next
That's
day.
beautiful.
It
See,
is. Yes. We have, yes, this is a beautiful community. The man that comes into my world will have to understand that.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
he's going to have to be
Support
strong.
you
He's
on
going to have
it.
to be supportive. He's
The
going to have
recovery
all of
community, yes.
these. Yes. It cannot be no jealousy. It
Right.
cannot be
But I'll
no,
tell you,
none of that.
strong but secure.
Yes.
He needs to be
Yes,
secure in who
secure.
they are. And that's
Yes.
again, you're taking this time to find that security in yourself and your worth.
Right.
Maybe the person that you are meant to end up with needs this time to do that themselves.
Right.
But this
Right.
goes back to exactly what you were just saying, because and we need to heal. And then when we can heal and God can have us where he wanted us to be, okay, we need to make sure that the person we're allowing into our space is also in a space that they are two healthy minds come together.
Are you
Mhm.
saying kind of support you in your recovery journey?
Well, here's what I'm saying. God has a very clear and definitive purpose for man. And if you read scripture or learn what that man's purpose is, an unhealed man won't be those things.
Right.
So when he's healed, he's going to naturally fit according to God's order for him. And so will a woman. And so when you've got two healthy individuals who are yoked together by God, and there's a scripture that references being equally yoked amongst believers.
Right.
Mhm.
That's
When
right.
those two healthy individuals, he is naturally going to fall in his place and feel confident as a man to be a man and provide for her or any woman what it is she needs. And then she'll flourish being submitted behind a man who's like that. And when they pull and they plow through life, they're going to be plowing with the strength of God behind them, and their lines will
Yeah.
be straight, and their
It gives me
future
chills, because
will be
that's
success.
what it's supposed to
Yes.
be. And So I shouldn't have to beg. I shouldn't have to,
No.
like, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be a natural, beautiful thing that comes together
Yes.
Right.
by God.
Right.
Yes.
And, and that's the thing. Like I said, I mean, I'm on a different spectrum with you guys, but like I said, when I was in Harrisburg after my second fiance left, like I was just jumping in our relationships. I wasn't healing. I was going out drinking. I was partying, and this person. In all honesty, I should have been focusing on recovery. Try to get
when you are in recovery,
Healing.
you have got. That's why it's highly recommended. Highly recommended that when you relapse, you should take that date and you should go a full year of just focus on yourself. It's highly recommended. To just take that year of focusing. Now, do you really need to take a full year? I don't know. But it is recommended to do
Right.
that.
It's common knowledge in recovery.
Well, and tying into the theme of better, not bitter, right? So if you take that year and you take that time to better yourself and know that, like, I'm not, because a lot of times when we end a relationship, we feel rejected. We feel that we're not worthy. We feel like something's wrong with us. We feel like I'm never going to be able to have anybody that loves me. All those stories that we already tell ourselves when we're in that active addiction, and a lot of those things that led us to that addiction.
And
right?
sometimes, my goodness, sometimes you don't even have to be in active addiction and that stuff happens to you. And somebody makes you feel that way. It just makes you feel that way in life anyway.
Oh,
You don't even have to
absolutely.
be in recovery. And
That's
you know
just
what I
the
mean?
devil
Yeah.
playing tricks on you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we go through that. I
Yeah.
go through that with, my girls with their breakups through life and whatever. People can be mean.
Yes.
It's horrible.
We live in a,
So
A fallen world.
tying this back to bitter, not better, let's go ahead and just share with those that are out there. And this is all scriptural too, but your thoughts are not your own. And we have to recognize that off the bat. Okay. So we are a vessel. And if you know God, then the Spirit is in you. But what the devil is he's the prince of the air. He roams the earth to and fro. So he whispers in your ear. He hears your conversation. So be careful of what you speak because he can use that against you. So let's be real. If he's whispering in your ear, then your thoughts are not yours. So whenever you recognize a bad thought, a confusing thought, things that are not of God, you should immediately train your person to say, those thoughts are not mine. That's of the devil. He is the author of confusion. Now, once you recognize as an individual that these thoughts are not mine, so if they're good and they're of God, keep them, believe them, because it'll back up scripture. But if they're bad, confusing, or negative, they're not of God. They're the devil. So here's what we're supposed to do. And this is what the Bible teaches. You take your thoughts captive. So how you do that is you recognize that thought. So now you've captured that thought. And then you take that thought and you surrender it to Jesus. And how you do that is you speak over it what the word actually says. So when the devil tells you a lie, you reference what you know is true. You say, for example, you're not worthy. You're too ugly. You don't deserve this. If you've ever had those thoughts, what you do is you pull from scripture what you know. And if you don't know, that's why it's important to study it. And I would say, I am worthy. I'm a child of the Most High God, and He says He has plans to prosper me and not to harm me. And there I just took and I surrendered that thought to Jesus. And then what ultimately happens, our thoughts become our feelings. So your emotions, if you don't train yourself to capture your thoughts, then what you become is a victim to your emotions. And guess what? When you're a victim to your emotions, you are going to make decisions based on how you feel. And when you make decisions based on how you feel and those feelings are bad, you are ultimately sabotaging your future. So learn how to capture them in the beginning, speak over them the truth. Then those feelings, you're no longer a victim because those feelings will pass as long as you give it that process. And then you can choose to be better and move forward and watch what God does.
So does that fall into self-destructive behaviors? That
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
And like I said, I did that for years. I was self-destructive. I would, what you just said, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. And then I would go do stupid things. I would cost myself opportunities. Like I said, and you just and it's back to the thing, better, not bitter. And I was bitter. I mean, there was times I would I would be sitting there telling my mom for 3 hours straight how much I hate this town, how much I hate this person, how much. But in all honesty, I was mad at myself.
Yeah, it's yourself. Well, Chess just brought the light to the spiritual side. Let's bring light to the physical and the other side of it, of what we can do, like dopamine.
Right.
Dopamine.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The physical.
Yes. And it's so I want to kind of jump on something Chess was saying too. So in the sense of you saying like your thoughts are not your own and all that. So someone said to me once, or I read somewhere or something, it's think of it that every thought that you have is a prayer.
Hmm.
So when you are saying I'm not worthy, I'm, blah blah, all these things, it's like you're praying for that to God. So and tell me if this is an advertisement 'cause I'm not trying to be, but there's this book called The Secret, and it
I
talks
know
about
it. I have
yes,
it.
The book
yes.
called The Secret. Who's the author?
I don't know. I have to look
Okay.
it up,
What
but
is
it's
it? Now I want to see it.
yeah,
because
but
I
it's
have it,
based
yeah.
on the law of attraction. So this is the okay, so there's the spiritual, it's spiritual and physical. And again, I think a lot of times we try to separate the two, but they really do go hand in
Is that
hand.
it?
Yes, that's it.
All right, go ahead and read the author of it so that we can just go ahead
Secret.
and.
I just had it, and now my phone's
Oh, it's
That's
okay.
all right.
funky. Author is Rhonda Bryan.
Hang on. Rhonda Byrne.
Rhonda Byrne. I said that too. I butchered that.
Byrne.
There you go. And then
I have read that book many times.
It's
And then
good,
I'll
and
just,
it's
edit and we'll.
and if you're not a reader, there's a documentary on it. It's called The Secret as well. It's a documentary. And the whole concept, again, is this law of attraction that what you put out, right? Sometimes we call it karma. Sometimes we call it, there's different terms for it, but it shows up in science. It shows up in quantum physics. It shows up in the spiritual world of what you focus on. So there's been studies that they talk about it in this book and in this documentary. Someone woke up every single day and was like, I'm getting $1,000. I'm getting $1,000. And you think that every single day and you believe it. It's not just the thought, it's as Chess said, it's the feeling that goes along with it, the sureness, the knowing.
The process,
seed.
the process,
The seed
the
has been
process
planted.
in
Yes.
this, and it backs up scripture is, you ask
Mhm.
and you shall receive,
Mhm.
because the actual secret is ask, believe, and then receive.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
another book that I would like to bring up too, and this was brought up to me by a fellow person I'm helping in recovery also, is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a really good book, and it's about changing habits and improving your well-being through small, constant actions. You don't have to do everything right then and there and make it a huge change. Small things. And remember, it takes 14 days to make something a habit. A lot of these books will help you in the long run.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, Atomic Habits and the one
The secret here she's talking about, I'd love for her to finish because she's exactly right. That's what the world calls the same thing I'm calling the spiritual.
Right.
They're together.
Right. It is.
See, I've never heard of that,
Yeah.
that they are together.
They are
Yeah.
together.
I was told to
Science is
separate.
proving faith every day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
know, in the
Really?
spiritual, we call it generational curses. In the educational world, they call it integrational trauma. It's
Yeah,
the same, one and the same.
Yeah,
it is.
it definitely is.
Well,
Well,
finish what you were saying.
Well,
Sorry,
there's no,
we-
it's
No,
good.
no.
It's all relative. I mean,
It's all
good.
together.
Yes,
Everything. Yeah.
it
What you're saying,
is.
everything's all together.
It is, and it's really like and as Chess is like, so the science is our brain literally develops around our emotions and our ability to, our like basic emotions. It's pretty much joy and fear. Like those are the two things that we respond to as. So if we are allowing ourselves to continuously fall into that fear, and this starts, it's not even just childhood. This is in utero. This is the depression, the stress, the pain that our mothers are feeling when they're pregnant with us. If they're feeling those things, our brains, our bodies develop around that. So you got to think that's deep conditioning, but it's retraining your brain, refocusing on, and again, that joy. And as Andrea said, it's the dopamine. That's the neurotransmitter of joy, of happiness. And for so long, we think it's relationships. We think it's substances. I think a lot of times we interchange dopamine and adrenaline. And you got to think adrenaline is what your body feels when it's under stress, when it's under intensity, when it's under worry. So then we look at, okay, what are the ways that we build that healthy dopamine through positive experiences, through reading a book where we have that thing that just clicks, through going to the gym and working out, through positive relationships and community. Like I feel like this morning we're all sitting around the table, having Bible study. Like I think all of our dopamine, we got babies around, we got kids around, we got dogs around.
It's so nice,
It
Taylor,
is.
because
It
a
is.
year ago, it hasn't been a full year, but whenever it was, we were out here at the communities or at the fire hall, going up in front of everybody, fighting to get a house or arguing to get a house open. People, well, that's going to be a drug house. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. but yet here we
Stigma,
are.
stigma,
Here we
stigma.
are, like building families
Yes.
together. And I was going to do a post about it. Bitter, not better.
Better, not better.
Or better, not
Better,
bitter.
not
Better,
bitter.
not bitter.
Yes.
Because I was going to do a post. Well, now, all of y'all was going to do saying this stuff about us, but like for real though, like here we are building families, baking cookies, doing for our neighbors, trying our best to do for others. And it's like the stigma of it all
Right.
is so horrible. Because I remember standing out there and having just certain people just like put us down. Well, this is going to do this and it's going to do that. No, like just get over it and let's open houses and let's help people because our community deserves so much better.
And I
We
mean, you got
do.
people who's upset about the rehab that's going in at Brookside, which you're saying on the stigma. Oh, that's going to bring people in from the city. That's going to bring drugs in and all that. And then they're going to skip out on the rehab and bring more in the community. It's a stigma. I mean, you're looking at these people. You're not giving these people a chance to recover. And that's all I want in this community.
Well, I can share. I would just want to share. I feel compelled to share this too because I was actually active in this. So what I'm finding from the people who live around that location is it's not a stigma that they don't want now. And I can't speak for everybody,
Right.
okay?
Right.
Because there are haters out there that's just going to hate, and we pray for them. But there are other locations, okay, that are better suited as far as bringing joy to the recipient in the intake, what they call it, the intake.
Right. Yeah.
Because that location is pretty dark and gloomy. However, it's already been passed. Let's pray that they do take on the locals they said they were going to take.
They said they did.
And so let's
actually
just
we're
pray.
we're working on getting the owners here at the table.
Good.
Oh,
because
are
I have
you?
met
Currently
those,
working on it.
I have met those guys, and I'm going
Currently
to tell
working on
you,
it. So we'll bring it to the table, the
I-
real and raw.
I've met
Let's
the-
hear it.
I've met
Yeah.
those
Unfiltered.
guys. Okay, and
Unfiltered.
these guys have 20 some years under their belt. They were where we were once. Right now, they've got
Wow.
20 years in addition to Andrea and all that, and they're doing great. So they do love to help people get out. What our community would love to see is help our own locals get out. That's the main objective.
I've never put my input on it. So here I go.
Wait, give a drum roll.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's my
I'm supposed
input.
to do that. I messed up. Sorry.
So my input on it is this. Our drugs and our drugs in America is coming from all sorts of avenues and ways into Page County. What if a drug dealer / user from Washington D.C. or wherever is an intake person to Brookside? Just a scenario,
Okay.
and gets recovered
Right,
and cuts off a drug line supply to Page County.
right,
Ooh.
right.
What if?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if? I mean,
And hey, law of attraction, put it out there, girl.
Yeah.
It can happen.
I'm just saying.
No, I
Yeah.
hear
And
you.
it saves my granddaughter and your children
Sure.
from getting
Yeah.
addicted.
Sure. But here's what I
We
think.
have to keep an open mind in all scenarios as to why God allowed that door to open.
and
because
I
if it
believe
wasn't
it's
meant
for
to
I believe it's
happen,
for
yeah,
our
that's what I was
people.
gonna
It's
say.
I believe it's for our people.
somehow or another it's supposed to happen, because if it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't have been
It
meant
wouldn't
to
have.
be.
Yeah, God.
So I'm excited to bring these guys on. I got John Winslow in the works of trying to get them to the table. I want them to the table. I want you guys to the table.
Hey, so listen, I love it. I have their numbers. I've met with them. I've
Let's
sat with
bring
them.
them to the
table.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
call them and ask
Get them,
them.
and you bring them,
I
and
love,
you come
I
to the
think
table too.
I
with
would
them.
love to. I love these guys, but here's how I feel about it. And I love what you're saying because that's true. That is true. But look at another situation. If every town in America had a house for their people, and that drug dealer out of DC or whatever example you use
wherever.
went to his own and stopped what was filtering, because generally speaking, when a pile of crap stinks, it's stinking its surrounding area. So
right.
if we can nip it in the butt, I don't know. I support recovery houses.
We can't usually get clean in our own
And
city.
another thing is people
Right.
saying, "Oh, how are people going to be able to afford it?" Let me just state that a lot of times Medicaid pays for these rehabs.
Exactly.
So don't think that they're going to have to pay $50,000-$60,000 out of pocket. No, their Medicaid is paying, 30, 60, 90 days.
Yeah, they are.
And this is saving
They
people's
are.
lives.
And we
Right.
can't usually get clean in our own city. However, we can with God, all things are
Yes.
possible. And we have a movement here in Page
Yes,
County.
we do.
Now, if these people are
Yes.
agreeing to it, hey, I say go for it. And another thing that I say is if it goes and it goes hard down there, then buy more property and let's make Page County the #1 place for recovery.
Yeah.
Buy
Yeah,
these
but
fields.
let's
and
focus.
let's keep on
Exactly,
going.
Andrea. Let's focus on having the location in a place that is good for the mindset, because
Mhm.
I don't forget the mindset I was in.
Yeah.
Okay. And often we can make our struggles harder
Yeah.
when trying to do it, as Alex says, cold, white knuckled
Yeah.
in a basement. Imagine being
Hmm.
outside in the sunshine on top in a beautiful home with beautiful
Yeah,
fixtures,
and it
nice
can-
things, and get clean that way and know that God has beauty in
Right.
store for you.
But I think with that area, it's the power of nature, and that's
Yeah.
God's gift right there. It's right there
That's
with the
true.
park.
That's people,
It's
places,
right
things.
there in
Yeah.
the
It is.
woods.
Well, crawl
you
before we
know.
walk. I mean, it's a huge
Right.
amount of money that they spent there, but it could be just it could be the
It's
beginning.
not that
Yeah.
much though.
It
I
could
mean,
be the beginning of a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It
And these
is.
it
people
is.
got the way I understand, I don't know, but I hear they got the funds. So maybe it's our
Yeah.
door to what we really, really need.
And I want to circle us back because I think where we started with this was with the stigma.
Yeah.
And, as we're saying that, and I think a lot right now we talk kind of on the theme of bitter and better. I think we have an overall, it's growing and it's changing with what we're doing every single day. But I think there is that bitterness mindset when we see someone walk in the streets sometimes and we see that we know that they're addicted, or we see, and I think we're talking, and I'm sitting here thinking as we're talking about it, because I have my own stigma in the sense of when I see someone walking on the streets knowing they're using, or someone I know that I've seen in and out of the cycle for so long, for my stigma, it's heartbreak and it's
Mhm.
devastation, and it makes me be like, man, like what can we do to help this person,
Yeah.
knowing that we can't do anything until they want it, but it breaks my heart. And so I shared a story about the lady that you helped this week, and I was leaving here earlier this week and I saw her sitting on the porch, and my first thought was, oh, this poor girl. Like, I know she's struggling. What can we do to help her? What can we do? And that stigma shifted for me because I was like, look where she is.
Mhm.
Look what she's waiting on. She's coming here not because she could be sitting on another porch looking for something else,
Right.
but she wasn't. She was on this porch
I'm so glad you
waiting
got
for
to
you.
see it.
It was I got chills all over my body.
I'm
right
glad you got to
now.
see it, Taylor, because this is
Yeah.
what happens it happens so much here. You guys don't even get to see a lot of it. If we could have, well, I always say, if we could have this place, we have it.
We have it.
Thank God we have
We
it.
have
The
it.
It's
resources
just,
are there.
we need a little bit of extra help.
Mhm.
I can't be here 24/7. You know what I mean? And that's what I was telling Chess this week. If I could have just that little bit of extra resource where somebody can be like somebody paid to come here to be
Right.
here
Right.
24/7. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what people need
But
to
we're getting
see
there.
right now,
We're getting there.
it's the same as with the church. The church isn't confined by the church walls. It's not confined
Yes.
by the church structure. And so what's amazing is that we're a community and we're moving. Yes,
We're getting there.
the hub is this house, but we're moving outside of that.
Yeah.
Like, we have folks go to the high school this week to talk to people.
Mhm.
We're at different places all over the community. So really, it's just knowing those faces
They
that are
know.
part of that community and saying, I need help.
Well, go ahead.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, because you said something and it hit me. When you said that in the old days, okay, or in the past, you would look at that person and your heart broke. That was your
Mhm.
stigma, it was heartbreak. But I realized too, for the people in that condition, they're all heartbroken.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they are where they are. So the only way that we can ever fix this problem is through loving those individuals. And I love that
Absolutely.
you love these people,
Yeah,
because
you
that's
have
why
to.
they feel safe to come here.
Yeah.
And that's what's effective. That's what made Jesus effective, is his love for us and loving people. And when anybody out there, guys, who doesn't know or hasn't been affected by this in some sort of way, show that individual love
Mhm.
rather than turning your back on them. Because when Jesus sat with the sinners, the tax collectors, and the worst of the worst, and he was approached, he said, the healthy don't need a physician. It's the sick that need them. And that's why it's our duty, and yours too, to show that person love.
It's
Yeah.
the parable of the lost sheep.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
going after the one.
You know, I used to do the same. I would look at people on the street that were struggling, and I was in a different boat. I would be like, oh, I would never be in that situation. I could never be like that. But look how quick the tables can change. And now I'm sitting here helping people.
Yes.
And it's beautiful.
You know, when I got arrested, so there's another thing I want to say. When I got arrested and thrown in jail, and in all truth, I could not let my kids go to somewhere that wasn't good for them. And I knew in my heart I was justified, even though my thinking wasn't clear. But I wound up in jail. When I remember the moment that I made the decision, I said, okay, God, thank you for putting me here. Thank you for protecting my kids. I could have gone bitter with that all the
Oh,
way,
yeah,
because
quick.
I could have been like, this is what happened that wasn't right. This is not the truth. This is that. And I could have blamed, but I didn't. And that made my experience in jail not only such a wonderful place, but I was able to show others too. And I used the opportunity God gave me. Instead of it becoming a trial, I allowed it to be his triumph.
Yeah.
And I used it. And that's what I feel like
That's
why he
awesome.
released me.
Yeah.
Most people say she should never be out on bond. Look at her charge of this and that. But I know God was working in all of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it all has to do with our attitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They-
your story's inspiring. Like I said, you've told it to me and all that. And like I said, it touches me. And like I said, you know, we can sit here and use our past experiences and don't be bitter about it. Just make yourself better and help others become better too. Also,
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what she has done
That's
for
what
me.
we have
Iron
to.
sharpens iron. I never knew
Mm.
Andrea. And when I got out of jail and I prayed to God to help me find a job so I could stay on bond, I
Mhm.
found the horses and they were healing. But then Andrea was the first person that I met. And when I started with her and she said, I'll pray with you and I'll give you a chance. And that's all I needed was a hand up. And she gave me that. And I worked hard for her, but I gave it to
did,
God.
yes.
All my work
Every
I gave
day.
to God.
God's speaking through you, Andrea. I'm telling
Well,
you.
it's a beautiful thing. Waking up, when we wake up, I never know what to expect, especially with these warmer mornings. That's when people come on the carport. Like we find people when outside on the carport. You would think colder
I never
mornings.
knew any of this was going on.
Yeah, it happens. It happens more on the warmer mornings. They'll be like either drunk or just whatever.
Right.
And recently, with this last one here, it was so beautiful. I came down here in the basement and I cried and I thank God because the girls that live here was taking up, Gatorades and because we had to wait for, to get her into the hospital
Mhm.
or we was getting ready to take her, but she just watching the girls who are already in recovery helping this girl, I was giving them what to take her up, the vitamins and, getting her built up,
Yeah.
built ready to
built
go.
nourished,
Yeah. No.
nourished to get her to where we needed her to go, and just seeing them glisten up. Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna make her an egg sandwich, and we're gonna get and seeing them hyped up. I said, "Oh my God, I love it!" And then them going through their clothes to help her, and it was a very emotional week to see that, and then see her, the girl that's in rehab now, uh just thanking the girls over and over again. Like,
Wow.
thank you
Oh,
for
you
helping me.
tearing up?
Thank
You
you.
gonna get me
Yeah,
to tear up?
it's been an
Yeah.
emotional week
Don't
with
do
this
that.
girl. But I'm so thankful that she's where she needs to be. And then her hugging my neck yesterday, where I dropped her off at, and telling me, she loved me and everything, reminded me of where I was
Yeah.
all those years
How
ago.
humbling.
It brought me back.
Beautiful.
So it just took me back to all those times I was in rehab, all those times people dropped me off, all those times that they felt how they felt.
Right. Right.
All the hopelessness I probably had everybody feeling of me.
Yeah.
So I told her, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional.
Don't be
That
sorry.
wasn't
No.
in the
Don't be
plan.
sorry.
No,
Right.
no.
But
Right.
it definitely was an emotional week. And my girl that's in rehab, I'm cheering her on. She's definitely, and please everybody just pray. I say a prayer for her. She is fighting a battle.
Yeah.
Addiction's a battle.
It
It
is.
is.
But love conquers all,
It
and we
does.
keep
Right.
loving
And
them
as a
through
community, we just need to stand by these people. When she comes out, we was talking this morning, I think we need to have a big community cookout for her.
Celebration.
Celebration. We do
Celebration. I
need
love
to
that.
recover
I like
out
that.
loud as a
Yes.
community. This is something I very boldly support. I do encourage every single person out there to recover out loud. It's the only way. It's the only way
It's
to
worked
break
for
these
me.
bonds is to recover out loud.
But look, we're talking about the better, right, over bitter in our own personal lives, but look at the ripple effect of that better. As you chose to become better and not bitter, as Chess, you chose to become better and not bitter. Cass, as you're choosing, to be better and not bitter.
Yeah,
It's not
right.
just your individual lives and your past, it's rippling into the girls' lives here. So they can ripple into this girl that came this week. So then she can ripple. I mean, it really is, it's
making
better
an
in the
effect.
world.
Well, and that's
It's
what I
better.
told you guys this morning in our Bible study. We're affecting people. The people who are out there in active addiction, they are seeing this and they are coming out of. They're coming out slowly. They're coming out and they want to join us. So we're making a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love God works through you so much.
Through us all.
Oh,
It's not
me
only
too.
me.
As long as we're
But you
in
started
partnership
it.
with him. Yes.
He is using every single one of
Yes.
us, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
So we got to
Yes.
keep on keeping on as community.
But we have to keep our mind right, guys. Every one of you. So the purpose is, and another thing we brought up for your toolbox.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
If God will
Toolbox.
take,
I love that.
if God will take care of the birds, why would He not take care of you when you are who He created in His image? He didn't do this for the animals. I mean, all of creation glorifies God. They sing His praises. They grow. They bring us the flowers, make us smell, and He provides for them. Thanks to their roots, the wind can blow, but if your root is deep, you can withstand the wind.
Yes.
So for us, we are to look at ourselves the same, okay? Root yourself deep in God, like Andrea has, like I'm trying to do. We're all doing this. I know all of us are believers here, and we can withstand whatever storm because the devil will offer storms. God will allow it too. And He gives us opportunity to stand firm. And just realize for your toolbox, guys, if God will take care of look at the birds, look at the wildflowers, and if God will provide for them, He will provide for you.
My favorite song.
Yes.
It's on my Facebook. Y'all scroll down and look at it. All right, guys. What is there anything else we need to bring to the table this morning? I think we have really went over it.
I think we have.
Yeah, it's really, like I said,
yeah.
it's been really good.
It's been a good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning. All right. Well, let's talk about Chess. Would you like to
I'd
go
love
over
to.
everything?
Sure.
This is our upcoming stuff that we got coming up this week. I'm excited about this week and our programs coming up.
I am too. So it's my understanding that Rob will be giving his testimony and sharing his story as well at Celebrate Recovery. Everybody come out on Monday night, 6:00. It may last to 8. Bring your children, come alone. There'll be food there, and it's a great time to hear testimony. On Tuesday night, if you're looking for something to do, come and join us at Free Indeed. That's located out on Newport Road, here in Shenandoah. 6:30.
Tuesday nights, we started our group sessions too. So we now do our different groups.
Yes,
it's kind of fun.
I liked it. It was really
You
different.
did like it?
Oh, I loved it.
Good.
Yeah, we separated
I want to be in your
groups.
group though next time.
Thank you. I want to be in her group.
I know.
Tayler, you gotta get a group.
We all separated groups.
Yeah. So we do a huge social, we do a huge meal, and then we do separating groups. And what I find beautiful is that I believe Pastor Tim Scott from Celebrate Recovery is actually going to join us at Free Indeed. So I love seeing
That's
us
gonna be
all
fun.
come together.
That's fun.
So come and join us. Okay. After that, we've got 23 West Main Street, an AA meeting at noon. Come and celebrate with those guys too. Okay. The Rec Center, Andre, he has a Cash App. It's Living Legacy Luray. Give a little bit, give a lot. Same for Andrea here at Valleys Rise Above. Please go to their Cash App, donate a little or a lot. First Steps to Freedom. Now that's Thursday nights in Elkton. It's located at 330 Shen Elk Plaza, 7:00 to 8:00. New Life Recovery. If you're in Harrisonburg, they meet at Grace Covenant Church at 6:30. The Hellfighters Off-Road Ministries. April 24th through the 27th, come out, ride thousands of acres of trails, the Hatfield and McCoys, do a little history watch up on Netflix if you want to paint yourself in the picture. I got my travel ticket. Yes.
We all bought ours here at the house, so we're
Yes.
ready to go. And then the walk with Jesus. Can you write that in so I can start announcing that too?
So we're doing
Where's my pen?
We're doing a March for Jesus, everybody, on June the 14th. But if anybody is interested in wanting to participate or get active, we are meeting on Wednesdays in the morning and we're meeting on Fridays in the afternoon. You don't have to come to both, but please do come. Let's go out and sing, have a procession of praise through the straits, because Jesus, our only hope. So we'd love to see you there. Anything else?
I was gonna add, so I know I hope this is public, so hopefully Pastor Tim doesn't get me yet. But they have flyers, I think it's public. But the fourth Friday of every month, they're gonna start doing in the evenings a open mic night.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Baptist.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna let her finish. But
Open
Andrea,
mic night.
I have the
Yes.
flyer for you from Jeremiah. So please talk about open mic night.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the best that I can as far as I understand it. So it's gonna be like a meal, like potluck type style, I think, and then do like a little bit of like praise and prayer, and then there will be an open mic night just for like something to do in our
For
community.
singing?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Singing,
sing. Oh, no,
poetry, anything. They said any skill. Now they did say, like, obviously it is spiritual based, it is Christian based, but if you want to sing a secular song, or want to, it doesn't, you don't have to only sing Christian music, as long as it's respectful to
I
Right.
love
family.
it.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Great
Yes.
idea,
Look at all
guys.
these great things
I
coming
know.
up.
And then we
Oh.
also have, so we got the walk with Jesus coming up, and we're also going to have to start meeting for our recovery
I was
walk
about
in
to say it.
September.
Yes.
Shout out to Eminem and any other big famous people out there who would like to come with us for our recovery walk this year, September.
Yeah, what is it? Bethel music, please come down.
Any-
Hillside
Yes.
worship,
Any
please
of
come
you guys.
down.
We want any of you all to please come out and support us in our community. We've done such great things.
We really
Yes.
have. We
And
really
God,
have.
I know that our
Puppy dog
theft
eyes.
and all that stuff has went down here in
Oh, it's
Page
had
County.
to.
It
Yeah, we
has
get those
tremendously.
Statistics, please. Statistics, please, Page County.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if Bo Cook can get that for you.
Yes,
Right.
All right, guys. I hope everyone. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Is there anything else?
I just want to say, God, keep blessing this table, keep blessing us.
Yes.
Thank you for pulling the people out of darkness. Let them come join the life of freedoms without bondage.
Yes.
It's fun.
I hope
Come
everyone
join
has a
It's a
happy
fun time.
Saturday.
Have a happy
Bye,
Saturday.
guys.
Bye,
Thank you, guys.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. hon.
Cover up the crime.
Look, Bo calls someone downstairs and starts